All right, folks, I'm going to share with you a synchronicity that happened on the 1st of May, 2024. During a live stream, I'll leave a link in the description box with a playlist. The first video in the playlist is the host, Sean of the Sod, reviewing the book Fool's Gold with the author AJ. And I'll play you a few seconds of this live stream where the synchronicity occurred. An earthquake happened, and you could see Sean's face right when he's feeling the earthquake. A couple of seconds later, he interrupts the guest, AJ, to tell him there was an earthquake.
Just included that as a side note. I said, make sure to look up Cladex, which was a global pandemic simulation, which took place exactly 666 days before the CDC and the WHO declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
So he just interrupted. You could see his face when he felt the earthquake. And a couple of seconds later, he interrupted AJ as AJ was saying Corona. Now, this earthquake, I looked it up. Earthquake, California, May 1st, 2024. It says near Corona, California.
There's an earthquake right now.
I'll just rewind it.
Yeah.
Is already ahead of me here, but yeah, I just included that as a side note. I said, make sure to look up Cladex, which was a global pandemic simulation, which took place exactly 666 days before the CDC and the WHO declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
There's an earthquake right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box. First video, the top video, is this Fool's Gold live stream. Just skip to that just before the 154 mark. Now, someone might argue that you could tell he felt the earthquake a couple of seconds before, but, you know, I guess don't earthquakes usually last at least a few seconds? Anyways, for all intents and purposes, the earthquake happened at 154 into the stream, not 154 as the time of day. And this is important. I'm going to get to that in a second here, in a minute. But the 154th composite number is 201. I know not a lot of people are into the composite numbers just yet, but I think there really is something to recognizing where a number falls on a composite numbers chart. So you can see on the screen what's taking up a good portion of the screen here is a composite numbers chart, at least the beginning of one. And the bottom left number is 201. Now, as I said, the 201 is the 154th composite number. This earthquake happened at 154 into the stream. It was near Corona, California. The words Corona, California equals 154 in ordinal Gematria, the most simple cipher most people know. Corona, California equals 154. This earthquake occurred when the live stream was at the 154 mark, and the 154th composite number is 201, which, when you think about how the host, Sean, interrupted the guest, AJ, when he was saying Corona, you might think of what's 201 connecting with Corona. Well, of course, the event 201, the coronavirus simulation. Now, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it seems to me clearly, to Sean, this was a sign from God. And say what you will, if you believe in God or not. I did want to bring to your attention this playlist. The first one, again, is just the live stream reviewing the book, Fool's Gold. The rest of the videos, and there will be more in the playlist, is Sean expressing his awe with this synchronicity and showing so many connections. The videos in this playlist contain too many intricate alignments for me to keep track of. Frankly, I'm not surprised by certain alignments, considering the date they chose to publicly review Fool's Gold, and not to mention what the book's about. Say what you will about the famous athletes, movie stars, infamous political figures, and how contrived their alignments might appear. Sean's personal synchronicity got my attention. An earthquake occurred in his area near Corona, California. This wasn't a subtle, gentle coincidence. The frickin' earth moved. The earthquake occurred at the perfect timestamp of his live stream while his guest was talking about Corona. Sean took this as proof of God's existence. Folks can and have said that an earthquake simulation can be scheduled. The date and the time of day, significant, but try and consider what makes this specific to Sean. Forget the time of day. Consider the time stamp of his live stream. And real quick, I want to show you the first line of AJ's book, Fool's Gold. Not even the first sentence. The top line. In the year of the coronation of King Charles III and the crowning of LeBron. Of course, coronation means crowning. Corona means crown. And just gotta repeat, this earthquake happened in Sean's area near Corona, California. Using ordinal gematria, Corona, California equals 154. This happened at 154 into his live stream. And the 154th composite number is 201. Derek, creator of Gematria Calculator, told me that he was going to put this recognition into his calculator eventually. So thank you, Derek, ahead of time. I know a lot more people will find some connections, but yeah, there was event 201, Corona simulation. I think this is the most significant piece to look at, Sean. If this is proof of God to Sean, this isn't necessarily proof of God for other people. But I do believe that that's what he believes. I believe in God. That particular sync won't convince everybody, but it is worth sharing. Some people would argue that you can contrive plenty of coincidences. I think this is different. I think that's pretty clear. But I'll give you just a for instance. I remember seeing some comedy special. I think it was called Comedy 201. And I went to look it up. And what I found was I just typed Comedy 201 into Google. And I just found this club. It's called 201 Maine. That might just be the address, but it looks like that's the name of the club. 201 Maine is comedy night. It's apparently the first comedy night at this particular venue. And it's on June 13th this year, which is the date that leaves 201 days remaining till the end of the year. So the name of the club or the address is 201. It's in California, for what it's worth. The address 201, and it's on the date leaving 201 days remaining till the end of the year. The reason I thought of comedy is comedy is all about timing. And if you watch a professional comedian really study his act, it's all about timing. It's all about the segues, I guess. It's all about the arrangement of the jokes. and they have something called a callback. They'll tell a joke and then later on make it even more funny by reminding people of the original joke. With music, composers do something where they can construct a song using particular notes and to elicit certain emotions and feelings. They know just when to hit that dissonance or just when to make you feel that relief after all that tension. Movies do this. Doesn't have to be comedy. Horror movies do this. Drama. All kinds of stage performances. The world is a stage, they say. So we see what's happening on the world stage. All these coincidences, synchronicities, contrivances, whatever you want to call it. When you watch some of these videos in the playlist, you'll hear a lot about these famous actors and infamous politicians and whatnot, and all the synchronicities and all the alignments might mean nothing to you, if you're convinced it's all contrived, and a lot of people think that. But when you actually look at your own life, Sean was also looking at his own numbers, his birthday, and you'll have to watch to see what I mean. So I don't want to try to give away personal information about him. He did say it at least in one video or live stream, and that his name equals 201, and I don't think that makes him part of the club, so to speak. I think that's just what helps to align him in such a way that he can notice these synchronicities. So I don't know what else to say here. I don't want to recap all of his information. It's pretty amazing when some people are going to look and see how deep he goes into the decodes. And not everybody's ready for that deep sort of forensics, if you will. But I appreciate it. I think he's on another level. And shout out to you, Sean. You're one of the first to share some composite stuff. So appreciate you on that one. He made a video responding to my first video about composite numbers. It was to Lambda and myself. So shout out to Lambda as well. And you can't forget AJ here. AJ Straight. I think he goes by the name Ball Don't Lie on Instagram. Sean's had him on for book reviews for at least 3 different live streams. So make sure to look at Sean's live stream section. Just look for AJ. He does some great work. And so shout out to him.
Yeah, I just included that as a side note. I said, make sure to look up CLADEX, which was a global pandemic simulation, which took place exactly 666 days before the CDC and the WHO declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
There's an earthquake right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then just don't forget Batman equals 666, right? Anyways, let's keep it moving. Yep, helicopters. Yes, sir. Okay. Ties right back into Kobe.
So you heard AJ say it ties back into Kobe, and of course, Kobe, we're told, was buried in Corona del Mar.